Hi, Chicago. My name is Hung Ngo, and I'm a former CAC Bolt resident and a Fieldworks mentor. CAC has been so important in my life. It was the way that I reconnected to Chicago as a city and to the arts community here when I moved back in 2017. It was the space where I developed my solo exhibition at DePaul Art Museum called To Name It Is to See It, and that has been a really important body of work that I've been developing since then. It's also been a model for access and education to the arts in the city that is so different from everything that I've seen through my travels and through my education, and it's something that I have been using in other parts of my life in teaching now currently as assistant professor in contemporary practices at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. Thank you so much, CAC, for everything that you do. I love you.
This is Devin T. Mays, and I'm a Bolt alum. I just wanted to take some time to share a few words of gratitude that I have for the Chicago Artists Coalition. Although I was only there for a year for my Bolt residency, I gained so much, but the most valuable thing I took away from that time was a sense of community. Bolt just wasn't a place for artists to exhibit with each other. It was also a place to learn how to take care of each other, and I gained an amazing community of caretakers in the process of being there. And so I am extremely grateful and very hopeful for other artists to be able to do the same. So thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Mav Luna and I was a Bolt resident at CAC in the new building year 2018 to 2019. When Teresa asked me to share, it was an easy answer to say yes. The CAC really provided me a lot. Most importantly, I would say thinking about the framework of space, right? So one, an incredible studio space, but also space as a way to engage your work. Having an entire year of which you can work towards one project or a series of projects. In my case, I worked towards one project and was able to kind of develop that idea in conversation with all of the guests that were brought in, also with the staff, just kind of being in the environment, and the other Bolt residency folks who were so amazing. And I was able to create one of the largest installations that I had done at that moment. And also just like the thinking moments, right? I spent a lot of late night hours in the studio, just like sitting with materials. The CAC really changed also my career trajectory. I feel like it supported taking on bigger projects and really thinking about a deeper investment into my own work. And so please, if you can support, it's an amazing place and builds really incredible communities. So thanks.
Hi, I'm Yvette Mayorga. I'm a former Bolt resident and recipient of CAC's Maker Grant. CAC support has really been pivotal in my artistic career, having had the opportunity to have a solo exhibition at Expo Chicago in 2017 was really groundbreaking in my artistic career and has opened up so many more doors and possibilities for me, and for that I will always be really thankful to CAC's endless support of Chicago-based artists like me.
Hi, I'm Colleen Keem. I was part of the Hatch program between 2017 and 2018, and CAC has supported me in my art career by putting me in touch with an expanded community of local artists and curators. Sabrina Grieg and Greg Ruffins were my curators for the two shows I had through the Hatch program, and their vision created elegant documentation that has enabled me to propose successful exhibitions both locally and abroad, and broaden my portfolio for job applications. I remain in touch with the artists in my cohort. We attend each other's shows. We offer feedback when asked, and I feel really supported when I have a show and I see them in the crowd on opening night. This has continued my growth to take chances with installation practices as well as the creation of future bodies of work. And I don't know if I would have made those choices or decisions without clarity provided by my curators as well as those in my cohort.
Hello, my name is Raul Delara, and I was part of CAC's Hatch Projects residency back in 2015, 2016. I recently had moved to Chicago when I was accepted, and CAC helped me to quickly connect with the vibrant community and active community in Chicago. I was able to meet a lot of amazing artists, curators, collectors, and people, committed to the field of art. I also had the opportunity to share my sculptures with the city and the new community that I joined. I was inspired by the city, and we had monthly meetings where I was able to meet people and bounce ideas around, connect. Led me to a lot of connections and people that I still keep up with and are dear friends. And CAC gave me a solid foundation to get started on at the city and the tools for me to create my own path.
Hello everyone, my name is Eric Peterson. I'm a sculptor, public artist, and museum educator here at the Smart Museum, as you can see behind me. I just want to say how pivotal CAC has been in my work as a Chicago artist and emerging artist. Mostly, in a lot of ways, connecting with the many great curators and just other artists in Chicago and creating sort of lifelong friendships and connections with them. I can connect CAC to showing a neon piece at Expo, to showing a giant garden sculpture at the Arts Club. So I just owe so much to CAC, and I want to thank them and keep up the good work. Thanks a lot.
Hello, I'm Luis Salvador Según Nuño, Chicago Artists Coalition Bolt Resident 2016-2017. Chicago Artists Coalition and the Bolt Residency were instrumental in my transformation as an artist. You see, I grew up and lived around the Chicago South Side and near the suburbs. When I went to get my MFA, I went about an hour away from Chicago, still in Illinois. So I was always at close proximity to the city, but never really truly in the heart of Chicago, in the heart of the art scene. After a couple of years that I received my MFA, I did a residency in Roswell. And the reason I came back to Chicago was because I got accepted into Bolt. So it brought me back to Chicago, my home. It brought me into the city. I started to live in Pilsen. I started to live in the communities where I grew up in when I was younger. It turned my what was already home into an artist home. That makes sense. So I was able to meet other artists. My cohort were still really tight. I love them. I've met curators from Chicago, other artists, galleries, etc. But really, the trajectory of my career, or like how it really impacted me, was the tight bonds and the communities that really brought this sense of home for me in Chicago that I will always be extremely grateful for. So thank you so much.